hush of the Dewdrop Forest, a soothing and enchanting sleep story designed to gently guide you into a peaceful and restorative slumber. If you are enjoying the tranquility of the Dewdrop Forest and would like to explore more calming soundscapes and stories, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content crafted to help you unwind. Before we step into the hushed embrace of the forest, let's take a few moments for a gentle breathing guidance to deepen your relaxation and prepare you for this tranquil journey. For those eager to immediately immerse themselves in the story, chapter timestamps are helpfully provided in the description below, allowing you to skip directly to the forest's edge. Find a comfortable position now, allowing your body to settle deeply into your bed. Feel the support beneath you, letting go of any effort to hold yourself up. Perhaps adjust your pillows or blankets to create a nest of cozy contentment. This is your sanctuary, your time to release the day and welcome the serene quiet of the evening. Allow the gentle sounds of the Dewdrop Forest, the soft rustling of leaves, and the delicate drip of dew to begin to wash over you, preparing your mind and body for rest. Let's begin with a calming breath together. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose, imagining you are drawing in the fresh, damp air of a dewdrop forest, scented with sweet blossoms and earthy moss. Hold it gently for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth, like a soft sigh of release, letting go of any tension or worries you may be holding. With each inhale, imagine drawing in the forest's tranquil hush, and with each exhale, release any remaining stress. Picture the emerald light filtering through the dew-laden canopy, casting a soft, calming glow all around you. Let these images fill your mind with peace and serenity. If your thoughts begin to drift, that is perfectly natural. Simply acknowledge them gently, like noticing a leaf falling softly to the forest floor, and then gently guide your attention back to your breath or to the sound of my voice. There is nothing you need to do now except listen and allow the story to carry you deeper into relaxation. Feel the gentle rhythm of the forest, the steady, peaceful pulse of nature all around you. Let it carry away any lingering anxieties, any worries, any concerns, and invite a sense of deep calm and quiet to settle within you. Allow yourself to be enveloped by the emerald hush of the Dewdrop Forest. As you listen to the gentle whispers of this enchanted place, let its magic soothe your mind and body, guiding you towards a serene and restful sleep. Now, let's begin our journey into the heart of the Dewdrop Forest, where peace and tranquility await to embrace you. Chapter 1: The Path to Stillness. Elara felt the city's clamour recede behind her with each step she took away from the cobbled streets and towards the whispered promise of the Dewdrop Forest. The air, thick with the exhaust and hurried sounds of urban life, began to thin, replaced by a subtle coolness that kissed her skin like a gentle balm. She paused at the forest's edge, a place where the manicured gardens of the town gave way to a wilder, softer beauty. The scent here was different too, a comforting blend of damp earth and something sweetly floral, like honeysuckle just beginning to unfurl its petals. Sunlight, which had been harsh and glaring in the open streets, filtered here through a dense canopy of leaves, diffusing into a soft emerald glow. It was a gentle light, kind to the eyes, casting long, dappled shadows that danced slowly on the mossy forest floor. Elara inhaled deeply, drawing in the forest's breath, a breath that felt ancient and calming, a breath that seemed to still the frantic flutter in her chest. She could already feel the tension in her shoulders beginning to ease, the tight knot in her stomach loosening ever so slightly. She stepped onto the path, a narrow ribbon of moss winding its way into the heart of the trees. Beneath her feet, the moss was yielding and soft, like walking on a carpet woven from velvet and dew. Each step was cushioned, muted, as if the forest itself was encouraging her to move slowly, deliberately, to savour each moment. The sounds of the city, the distant rumble of carts and the sharp cries of vendors faded to a distant murmur, then disappeared altogether. Here, the only sounds were quieter, gentler, the whisper of leaves rustling in a soft breeze, the occasional drip of moisture from a leaf overhead, the almost imperceptible hum of life in the undergrowth. Looking around, Elara noticed the remarkable abundance of dew. Every leaf, every blade of grass, every tiny flower was adorned with droplets of moisture, each one catching and reflecting the soft light like a tiny, shimmering jewel. They clung to the delicate webs spun between branches, transforming them into strings of glistening pearls. The air itself seemed to be made of dew, a fine mist that settled lightly on her skin, cool and refreshing. She reached out a hand and gently touched a leaf, feeling the smooth coolness of the droplet against her fingertip. As she walked deeper into the forest, the path began to curve and wind, leading her further and further away from the world she knew, and into this tranquil realm of green and gentle light. The trees here were tall and old, their trunks thick and gnarled, draped in moss of every shade of green imaginable, from the palest, almost luminous green to deep forest green, and even shades of olive and emerald. They stood like silent sentinels, their branches intertwining overhead, creating a natural cathedral of leaves and light. The air grew damper, richer, with the scent of wet earth and decaying leaves, a fragrance that was surprisingly comforting, grounding. It spoke of life and renewal, of the slow, steady cycle of nature. Elara closed her eyes for a moment, breathing deeply, letting the forest envelop her senses. She imagined her worries, her anxieties as shadows, and felt them beginning to soften, to dissipate in the pervasive tranquility of the Dewdrop Forest. As dusk began to settle, casting longer shadows and deepening the emerald hues of the forest, Elara felt a profound sense of peace descend upon her. It was a quiet peace, not the absence of sound, but a peacefulness that resonated from the very heart of this place. She knew instinctively that she had found a sanctuary, a place where she could rest, heal, and rediscover the stillness that had been missing from her life for so long. The path ahead beckoned, promising further wonders and deeper tranquility within the Dewdrop Forest's gentle embrace. She continued her journey, the soft moss cushioning her steps, the gentle light guiding her way, and the hushed whispers of the forest promising a night of peaceful rest and quiet contemplation. The Dewdrop Forest was welcoming her, enveloping her in its emerald hush, inviting her to find stillness and solace within its ancient dew-kissed heart. Chapter 2: Whispers of the Elder Tree. Deeper into the Dewdrop Forest, the path widened slightly, leading Elara into a small clearing, bathed in an even softer, more diffused light. In the centre of the clearing stood an ancient tree, its size dwarfing all others around it. This was no ordinary tree. It radiated an aura of quiet strength and profound peace, a silent wisdom that seemed to emanate from its very bark and branches. Its trunk was immense, thicker than any she had ever seen, and its bark was a tapestry of deep greens and browns, softened by a thick layer of moss that felt velvety to the touch. Beneath the elder tree, resting against its broad trunk, sat a figure. As Elara drew closer, she saw it was an old man, his face etched with the gentle lines of time and wisdom. His eyes, the colour of deep forest pools, were kind and welcoming, and a soft smile played upon his lips. He seemed to be part of the forest itself, as natural and serene as the trees and the moss and the dew that surrounded them. The air around him hummed with a quiet, soothing energy, a gentle vibration that resonated with the peace of the forest. "Welcome, Elara," the old man said, his voice a low, calming rumble, like the distant murmur of a mountain stream. "I am Faelan, guardian of this forest. The Dewdrop Forest has been waiting for you." His words were not spoken with surprise, but with a quiet knowing, as if her arrival was expected, anticipated. He gestured to the mossy ground beside him. "Please, sit with me. Rest your weary feet and your troubled mind." Elara gratefully accepted his invitation, settling onto the soft moss beside Faelan. The ground here felt particularly yielding, almost like a natural cushion, and the air was even more fragrant with the sweet scent of blossoms. She leaned back against the elder tree's trunk, feeling its solid presence behind her, a sense of unwavering support and ancient strength. The bark was surprisingly warm beneath the moss, radiating a gentle heat that eased the lingering chill from her journey. "You have come seeking peace," Faelan said, his gaze gentle and understanding. "The Dewdrop Forest offers that freely to all who enter with open hearts. But true peace," he continued, his voice softening further, "comes from within. The forest can only reflect back to you the tranquility that already resides within you, waiting to be uncovered." He spoke slowly, deliberately, each word resonating with a quiet wisdom. He gestured around at the forest, at the shimmering dew and the emerald light filtering through the leaves. "The magic of this place is gentle, nurturing. It does not force or demand, but simply offers. It is the magic of stillness, of quiet observation, of deep connection to the natural world." He explained that the dew itself held a special energy, a subtle magic that could soothe anxieties and heal emotional wounds. "The forest hush," he said, "was a natural balm for the restless mind, quieting the internal chatter and allowing for deeper introspection." Faelan spoke of the elder tree, explaining that it was the heart of the forest, the source of its deepest peace. He said that resting against it, feeling its steady presence, could ground and centre even the most troubled spirit. He encouraged Elara to spend time near the tree, to listen to its silent wisdom, and to allow its gentle energy to permeate her being. He spoke of the dewdrop ritual, a simple practice of collecting dew and offering it back to the forest, a gesture of gratitude and a way to further connect with its magic. As Faelan spoke, Elara felt a profound sense of calm settling over her. His words were like a gentle lullaby, soothing and reassuring. The forest forest itself seemed to be listening, to be responding to his words with a quiet hum of approval. The air was still and peaceful, filled with the gentle sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves, the distant song of a bird, the soft drip of dew. She felt safe here, protected by the forest's embrace, guided by Faelan's gentle wisdom. The sun began to dip further below the horizon, casting the clearing in deeper shadows, but the emerald light of the forest seemed to grow brighter, illuminating the dew-kissed leaves and the mossy ground with a soft internal glow. Faelan smiled again, a warm, reassuring smile. "Rest now, Elara," he said. "Let the forest cradle you. Tomorrow, we will explore the Dewdrop ritual and begin your journey deeper into the heart of stillness." He closed his eyes, leaning back against the elder tree, becoming once again a silent, peaceful part of the Dewdrop Forest, leaving Elara to rest in the gentle hush of the evening, embraced by the quiet wisdom of the elder tree. Chapter 3: The Dewdrop Ritual. As dawn painted the sky with soft hues of rose and lavender, Elara awoke to find the Dewdrop Forest refreshed and renewed. The air was even cooler and damper than the previous evening, and the scent of blossoms was stronger, sweeter. Millions of dew droplets shimmered with a renewed brilliance, catching the first rays of sunlight and scattering them into rainbows of light. The forest hummed with a quiet energy, a sense of gentle awakening and peaceful anticipation. Faelan was already awake, sitting peacefully beneath the elder tree, his eyes closed, his face serene. As Elara stirred, he opened his eyes and smiled, a warm and welcoming smile that banished any lingering shadows of the night. "Good morning, Elara," he said softly. "Did you rest well in the embrace of the Dewdrop Forest?" Elara nodded, feeling a lightness and clarity she had not experienced in a long time. The forest had indeed cradled her, easing her anxieties and soothing her restless mind. "Today," Faelan began, his voice gentle and guiding, "we will learn the Dewdrop Ritual, a simple practice to deepen your connection with the forest and to harness the healing energy of the dew." He explained that the dew in the Dewdrop Forest was not ordinary water. It was imbued with the forest's magic, a concentrated essence of peace and renewal. Collecting it with intention and offering it back to the forest, he said, was a way to both receive and give back to this tranquil place. He led Elara to a hidden glade she hadn't noticed before, tucked away behind a curtain of weeping willow-like trees, their leaves cascading down like gentle waterfalls of green. In the centre of the glade was a pool, not large but perfectly formed, its water crystal clear and still as glass. It reflected the canopy above like a mirror, showing the intricate patterns of leaves and the soft blue sky peeking through. The air here was fragrant with the delicate scent of water lilies that floated serenely on the pool's surface, their white petals tipped with the palest pink. "This is the Dewdrop Pool," Faelan explained. "It is a place of reflection and renewal. The dew that collects here is particularly potent." He showed Elara a small, intricately carved wooden bowl, its surface smooth and cool to the touch. "We will use this bowl to collect the dew." He demonstrated how to gently gather the dew from the leaves, letting the droplets roll into the bowl, filling it slowly, carefully. The process was meditative, requiring a gentle touch and a quiet focus. As Elara followed Faelan's example, moving slowly and deliberately she felt a subtle shift within her. The act of collecting dew, of being mindful of each droplet, calmed her mind and centered her attention. The cool, damp air on her skin, the delicate scent of blossoms, the gentle sounds of the forest, all contributed to a feeling of profound peace and connection. The bowl slowly filled with shimmering dew, each drop reflecting the emerald light of the forest, like liquid jewels. Once the bowl was full, Faelan led Elara to the edge of the dewdrop pool. "Now," he said softly, "we offer the dew back to the forest with intentions of peace and release. Hold the bowl in your hands, close your eyes, and think of what you wish to release, what anxieties or worries you carry within you. Imagine them flowing into the dew, being carried away by its gentle energy, offered back to the forest for transformation." He closed his eyes, and Elara followed suit, holding the bowl of dew, feeling its cool weight in her hands. She focused on her anxieties, the restless thoughts that had troubled her for so long. She imagined them as dark shadows and visualized them dissolving into the shimmering dew, becoming lighter, less substantial. She felt a sense of letting go, of releasing the burdens she had been carrying. After a few moments of quiet contemplation, Faelan gently instructed her to pour the dew back into the dewdrop pool, slowly, deliberately. As the dew mingled with the water of the pool, it seemed to shimmer and glow with an inner light. A gentle ripple spread across the surface of the pool, carrying the energy of the dew, the intentions of peace and release, out into the forest. Elara felt a wave of calm wash over her, a sense of lightness and liberation. The dewdrop ritual, simple as it was, had worked its gentle magic, deepening her connection to the dewdrop forest and nurturing her inner peace. The glade was bathed in soft sunlight, filled with the scent of water lilies and the quiet hum of the forest, a tranquil sanctuary where healing and renewal flowed freely. Chapter 4: Walking the Moss Labyrinth. Later that morning, after a simple breakfast of forest berries and sweet dew-infused water, Faelan led Elara deeper into the dewdrop forest, towards a part of the forest she had not yet seen. The path here became narrower again, winding through a grove of ancient moss-covered stones. These were not ordinary stones. They were large, rounded boulders, completely enveloped in thick layers of moss. Some of them so large they seemed to rise out of the forest floor like miniature hills. The air here was even damper, and the scent of moss was rich and earthy, almost intoxicating. "We are entering the moss labyrinth," Faelan explained, his voice a hushed whisper, as if respecting the quietude of this place. "It is not a labyrinth of walls and puzzles, but a labyrinth of paths and stillness. It is designed to guide you inwards, to quiet your mind and deepen your connection to the earth." He indicated a narrow path winding between two moss-covered boulders. "Follow this path, slowly, mindfully. Let the labyrinth guide you." Elara stepped onto the path, feeling the soft, yielding moss beneath her feet. It was like walking on a living carpet, a gentle, breathing surface that cushioned every step. The path wound and curved, sometimes narrowing to a single file, sometimes widening slightly, but always guiding her deeper into the heart of the mossy stones. The towering boulders, covered in their velvety green coats, created a sense of enclosure, of being surrounded by something ancient and peaceful. The light here was dappled and subdued, filtering through the canopy and the moss-laden stones, casting soft green shadows that danced and shifted with the gentle breeze. As she walked, Elara noticed the incredible detail of the moss itself. It was not just a single shade of green, but a tapestry of greens, from pale chartreuse to deep emerald, and even hints of gold and brown. She saw tiny ferns and delicate wildflowers nestled amongst the moss, miniature ecosystems thriving in the damp, sheltered environment. The texture of the moss varied too, from velvety soft to slightly springy, from smooth and cool to subtly rough. Each step revealed a new nuance, a new detail to observe. The path led her in gentle curves and turns, sometimes circling back on itself, but always progressing deeper into the labyrinth. There were no sudden twists or turns, no confusing dead ends, only a smooth, flowing progression, like a slow, meandering river. The labyrinth seemed designed to soothe and calm, not to challenge or confuse. The gentle sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, the distant bird song, the soft drip of dew were amplified here, echoing softly off the mossy stones, creating a tranquil soundscape that enveloped her senses. As she walked further, Elara felt her mind beginning to quiet. The labyrinth had a way of gently drawing her attention inwards, away from her thoughts and worries, and towards the present moment, towards the sensory experience of walking through this tranquil place. She focused on the feel of the moss beneath her feet, the scent of damp earth and moss, the soft light filtering through the trees, the gentle sounds of the forest. Each step became a meditation, each breath a moment of quiet contemplation. She noticed small details she might have otherwise missed. A tiny snail leaving a silvery trail on a moss-covered stone, a spiderweb strung between two ferns, glistening with dew, a ladybug crawling slowly across a leaf. These small wonders, usually overlooked in the rush of daily life, became significant here, drawing her attention and filling her with a sense of quiet appreciation for the beauty and intricacy of the natural world. The labyrinth was not just a path to walk, but a path to observe, to notice, to connect with the subtle wonders of the Dewdrop Forest. After what felt like a long, peaceful walk, the path began to widen again, leading her towards a brighter light ahead. She emerged from the moss labyrinth into a small, circular clearing, bathed in soft sunlight filtering through the canopy. In the centre of the clearing stood a circle of ancient trees, their branches intertwined overhead, forming a natural dome, a peaceful sanctuary at the heart of the labyrinth. She had reached the Heartwood embrace, the centre of the moss labyrinth, a place of deep tranquility and profound connection to the Dewdrop Forest. Chapter 5. The Heartwood Embrace. The clearing at the heart of the moss labyrinth felt different from any other part of the Dewdrop Forest Elara had yet experienced. It was imbued with an even deeper sense of peace, a profound stillness that seemed to permeate the very air. The circle of ancient trees that enclosed the clearing radiated a gentle warmth, a comforting energy that embraced her as she stepped into their presence. Their branches, intertwined high above, created a natural dome, a leafy ceiling that filtered the sunlight into soft, dappled patterns on the mossy ground. Faelan was already there, standing near the largest tree in the circle, a tree that seemed even older and wiser than the elder tree. Its trunk was massive, its bark deeply furrowed and textured, radiating an ancient strength and unwavering stability. He smiled gently as Elara approached, his eyes filled with a quiet knowing. "Welcome, Elara," he said softly. "You have reached the Heartwood embrace, the centre of the moss labyrinth, the deepest sanctuary within the Dewdrop Forest." He gestured towards the large tree. "This is the Heartwood tree. It is the oldest and most grounding tree in the forest. Rest against its trunk, feel its steady presence, and allow its energy to centre and calm you." He explained that the heartwood of this tree resonated with a powerful, stabilising energy, a deep connection to the earth that could ground and soothe even the most restless spirit. "Physical contact with the heartwood," he said, "could promote feelings of security, connection, and profound inner peace." Elara approached the heartwood tree, feeling a sense of reverence and awe in its ancient presence. She reached out a hand and gently touched its trunk, feeling the warm, rough bark beneath her fingertips. It radiated a gentle heat, a comforting warmth that seemed to seep into her skin, into her very bones. She leaned back against the trunk, feeling its solid support behind her, a sense of unwavering strength and stability. The bark was surprisingly comfortable, conforming to the curve of her back, embracing her in a gentle, grounding hold. As she rested against the heartwood tree, Elara closed her eyes and breathed deeply, allowing the forest to envelop her senses. The air was still and peaceful, filled with the subtle scents of moss, earth, and ancient wood. The gentle sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, the distant murmur of a stream, the soft sigh of the breeze, seemed to fade into a quiet hum, a tranquil lullaby that resonated with the stillness within her. She felt the warmth of the tree against her back, the soft moss beneath her feet, the gentle air on her skin, a symphony of calming sensations that grounded her in the present moment. She focused on her breath, feeling the slow, steady rhythm of her inhales and exhales. With each inhale, she imagined drawing in the grounding energy of the heartwood tree, the peace of the Dewdrop Forest, the tranquility of this ancient sanctuary. With each exhale, she released any remaining tension, any lingering anxieties, any shadows of worry that still clung to her. She felt herself sinking deeper into relaxation, into a state of profound calm and inner peace. The forest hummed with a quiet energy, a gentle vibration that resonated through the earth, through the trees, through her own body. It was a lullaby of nature, a soothing song of stillness and tranquility that washed away the last remnants of her anxieties, leaving her feeling refreshed, centered, and deeply connected to the tranquil heart of the Dewdrop Forest. She felt a sense of gratitude for this peaceful place, for Faelan's gentle guidance, for the healing magic of the dew, and the grounding embrace of the heartwood tree. As the sun began to set, casting long, golden shadows through the trees, Elara remained resting against the heartwood tree, bathed in the soft, peaceful light of the Dewdrop Forest. She knew she had found a sanctuary, a place of true healing and deep tranquility. She had journeyed to the heart of the Dewdrop Forest and found, within its emerald hush, not only peace, but also a deeper understanding of the stillness that resided within herself, waiting to be uncovered, nurtured, and embraced. And as darkness fell, she drifted into a deep, restful sleep, cradled by the gentle magic of the Dewdrop Forest, embraced by the quiet wisdom of the Heartwood tree, and enveloped in a profound and lasting